Welcome to the eCommerce Badassery podcast, the place for scrappy entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran and former brick-and-mortar boutique owner who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the eCommerce Badassery podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. So, Klaviyo quietly dropped something in your account recently. It's called Customer Hub. And if you've been wondering what this is or if you should use it, you are in the right place. Before we get into the details of what Customer Hub is and who it's good for, I got to admit something. I'm coming at this from a pretty skeptical perspective. It's probably going to be obvious, so I thought I'd put that on the table right now. I'm going to do my best to stay objective, giving you the pros and cons so you can decide for yourself if this makes sense for your business. But if you sense a bit of skepticism in my voice or my presentation, you are not imagining it. So why am I skeptical? Well, there's two main reasons. First, it annoys me when SaaS platforms roll out shiny new features before they've perfected their core product. Yes, I know they have different teams working on different things and they can develop more than one thing at a time. But hey Klaviyo, how about letting us send someone through a segment-triggered flow more than once before you tack on customer service tools? Just saying. Second, and honestly this is the bigger one, is how they launched it. They rolled out Customer Hub to everyone before they even had pricing finalized. So what? They wanted you to implement it, integrate all your tools, and train your customers to use it, only to later find out it wasn't affordable and you'd have to pull the plug? That felt sneaky. Now, I will say, the actual pricing did surprise me in a good way. Customer Hub starts at just $30 per month for up to 10,000 active profiles with a 30-day free trial. And for the rest of 2025, there's an intro price of just $20 a month. So it is super accessible. But as a cynical New Yorker who has been known to hold a grudge, I don't forgive them. That said, it's a pretty cool tool and it just might be the right move for your business. So let's dig into what it is and whether it deserves a spot in your tech stack. At its core, Customer Hub is a souped-up customer account portal. It's Klaviyo's version of what Shopify already offers in their new customer accounts with the help of app extensions, a place where customers can manage their relationship with your brand, including tracking their orders, reordering their favorite products, initiating returns, managing subscriptions, engaging with the loyalty app, etc. The difference is that instead of building it through Shopify, using the extensions created by the apps themselves, you're integrating those apps with Klaviyo's Customer Hub and building it through there. And while you can already build a pretty robust account experience with Shopify's native tools and those app extensions, there are a few perks to using Klaviyo's Customer Hub specifically. First, it has a built-in favorite/wishlist feature, so you could potentially save some money on another app. Unfortunately, from what I can tell, there is no way to import historical data. So if you're already using a wishlist app and your customers are engaging with it, so they've got a whole bunch of products saved, they're going to lose all their historical information. Granted, Customer Hub is technically still in beta, so it's possible that will change, but something to be aware of. Second, you can use Klaviyo's product recommendation engine to show items inside of the Customer Hub panel. This is a great way to add a little bit more personalization to your website using a tool you already have instead of needing to invest in another personalization tool. It's pretty limited as the recommendations are only going to be visible in the hub, but it's cool nonetheless. Third, the actions your customers take in the hub are recorded in Klaviyo, allowing you to trigger flows based on that activity. For example, if you're using the Klaviyo favorites feature, you can trigger an automated email flow to remind customers about those favorited items. While this sounds super cool and advanced from the jump, the truth is most of your favorite apps already integrate with Klaviyo directly, and you can already get this information attached to a customer's profile and or trigger automations from this data. Fourth, if you use Klaviyo's dynamic coupon functionality, you can surface each customer's unique code in their customer hub. These codes, when generated, already get attached to the user's profile. That's how Klaviyo is able to show a customer the same exact code in multiple different emails because it's attached to their profile in Klaviyo. Because of that, you can now surface those codes inside of Klaviyo's customer hub. Fifth, interactions with the hub are also recorded in Klaviyo. So you're able to see how people are engaging with the hub, what it is they're engaging with, what revenue it's generating, etc. And then lastly, let's be real, visually, it's prettier than a Shopify account layout. And since it's a widget overlay, it does feel more accessible and easier to engage with. Like I said, overall, it's a pretty cool tool, but there are a bunch of reasons why I'm still not totally sold on it. First things first, let me say, I wish they had just built app extensions that merchants could use in regular Shopify accounts. Why did they have to build a whole new tool that they're going to charge you for? Klaviyo has been evolving a lot over the past few years, and it's easy to tell they're trying to be this all-in-one for e-commerce stores. They have this 3-pillar system: marketing, service, and analytics. While I love the sentiment and direction, I admit it's nice to have things all in one place. But as expected, when you're trying to be too many things to too many people, you're never the best at any of those things. Honestly, I see them making the same mistakes a lot of companies and SaaS platforms make. I mean, it was just a few weeks ago that Yapo decided to get rid of their email marketing platform so they could go back to doing what they do best. There's a reason they did that, you know? And while I appreciate that each of these new features Klaviyo is rolling out is a la carte, so you're not locked into a high monthly recurring cost for a bunch of features you don't need, it ends up having this nickel and dime feel. I realize that's not fair because from that perspective, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. So they can't win on that one. But like I said, I'm a little cynical about where this is all going. That said, there are also some more technical reasons why I don't love the platform. First is account login requirements. Aside from saved favorites and recently viewed products, in order to get any ROI from this, customers need to be logged in. Sure, that's true for a Shopify account too, but you don't have to pay extra for that. If you haven't already trained your customers to log in when they shop, well, it might be a while before they start adopting it, and it's really hard to change people's behavior. There are also limited integrations. Because this product is still new, it does not integrate with all of your favorite tools yet. There are a good set of options so far for each type of block you could have. For example, reviews, rewards and loyalty, customer service, shipping, etc. But if you use something that isn't integrated with the hub, well, then that's just going to confuse your customers and kind of defeat the whole purpose because they're going to have to be logging into multiple different places. So the question is Klaviyo's customer hub right for you? Well, that depends. First, it's currently only available for Shopify stores and does require a paid email product subscription. It is not a standalone product. If you meet those requirements, then you'll want to make sure it works with the apps you use in your business. Is it worth it to switch to one of those supported apps just to use their hub? Probably not. I would also look at what percentage of your customers already have a customer account, and you can ask Sidekick and he'll figure it out for you. You might be surprised by the answer. We were talking about this on our most recent email badassery call, and one of the students had a super high account creation rate, even though he wasn't trying. He didn't encourage people to do that, but he has an older customer base, and that's just what they do. Another student, very low customer account creation rate. It would definitely take her a little extra work to train her customers to do it. And then I would look at their general engagement behavior. The stores that will see the most success with this are likely going to have a high customer return rate at a high frequency, say every 90 days or less. Because if they're not on your site engaging with this tool, it's not going to do anything for you. Here's the good news though. In addition to the very low cost to get started, as I mentioned earlier, there's also a 30-day free trial. So you can activate it in your account, play around with it before making it live on your site. This will give you a chance to see how it works, confirm the tools you are already using, integrate with it, and just get a better sense of what it really does. But I also want you to consider what alternatives you have to Klaviyo's Customer Hub. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of what Hub does can be accomplished with Shopify's native accounts and extensions from the apps you use. If you've never taken the time to see what's possible, I recommend you do that before fully committing to Klaviyo's Customer Hub, especially if you are not like 150% sure it is the right move. In Shopify, if you go to Settings, Checkout, at the top of the screen, you'll see a block that says Configurations. Click the Customize button and it will take you to the correct area of your theme customizer. Once you get there, you're going to land on the checkout page, but you can switch pages with the drop-down at the top of your screen, just like when you're navigating your theme customizer, going between homepage, products, collections, etc. From there, you can edit the thank you and order status pages, the customer account profile page, and the orders page that appears inside of the customer account. Once you navigate to the page you want to edit, click the app icon in your theme customizer. This is the same place you would access your app embeds, and you're going to see the available blocks from the apps you use in your store. There might be more you can do than you realize if you've never sat down to look at this before. You'll also want to make sure you install Shopify's Checkout Blocks app. This is now available to all plans, though some blocks are still limited to Shopify Plus. That's typically the ones that show up on the checkout page. And if you want some more custom banner functionality, check out an app called Hubble Customer Accounts. The free version is limited, but on the paid plans, they have some advanced dynamic banners you can use to show different messages to different customers. Granted, the first paid tier is $20 a month, which is the same price as the first tier of Klaviyo's Customer Hub. But if Customer Hub doesn't integrate with all the apps you use and you just need some customer banner functionality, it's probably the better investment. Plus, remember, the price of Klaviyo's Customer Hub increases based on the number of active profiles you have. So don't forget to consider that. The other thing is, don't forget to look at integrating your tools directly with Klaviyo so you can enrich customer profiles and trigger automations based on the data and actions your customers take in those apps. For example, you can integrate your subscription, loyalty, reviews, customer service, returns. You can integrate them all directly to Klaviyo. They will push data to Klaviyo that gets stored on your customer's profile, which you can use for segmentation and dynamic content. And they also send over their own events like purchasing a subscription or earning rewards points that you can create flows from. Your wishlist app probably integrates with Klaviyo too. So again, aside from a really pretty panel and showing Klaviyo's product recommendations and dynamic coupon codes, most of what Customer Hub does can be done without Customer Hub. So again, is Klaviyo Customer Hub right for you? Only you can answer that question after you do your research. My gut tells me it's just not going to be that widely applicable at the moment. From what I can tell, there's no roadmap for upcoming integrations. So unless it already integrates with all the tools you use, it's kind of a non-starter in my opinion. Is it worth it to lock in the beta price? Maybe. I've been paying for Flowdesk for years because I'm locked into their initial beta pricing in hopes that one day the platform would have all the features I need. At this point, it's not even close and I should probably get rid of it, but they just recently announced that they're changing their pricing model to increase with the number of subscribers you have, just like every other email platform, and now I really don't want to lose my rate. So am I going to continue to pay for it even though it's a total waste? Probably. Do I recommend you do dumb stuff like I do? Probably not. Before we go, let me say this. As much as I have bashed on Klaviyo today, the truth is it's still my overall favorite email marketing platform for e-commerce. Yes, there are obviously things about it that annoy me. And while it's not the perfect fit for everyone, it's the best option for most. But just because I love their email product, it doesn't mean I'm not going to keep it real as they continue to expand their offering. And I want you to do the same. Make sure you're doing your due diligence on all of these new features and don't get caught up in the shiny object of it all. If you want to learn more about Klaviyo's Customer Hub, I put some links in the show notes that will get you to their documentation so you can check it out for yourself. And on that note, I'm out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to learn more about growing your e-commerce business, get started with my free resource library at ecommercebadassery.com/free stuff and get an invite to the Lounge, my e-commerce marketing membership. When you're ready for one-on-one support, apply to work with me at ecommercebadassery.com/apply. Before you go, would you do me a quick favor? Leave a rating and review and tap that follow button. This pushes me up the chart so I can support more scrappy e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you. I'm on a mission to reach as many as I can, and I could really use your help. Thanks so much in advance. Until next time, e-commerce friend, stay badass.